Very good morning to all of you. So in the last class we were discussing about the general characteristics of p block elements. So now let's start the first group of p block element, that is group number 13, boron family. Okay, so group number 13, boron family. Okay, so in this the first electron enters, the last electron enters in the p block. Okay, and this is the first electron which is entering in the p block. Okay, so the group is boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Okay, so these are the five elements in the group number 13. There is also another element that is radioactive, that is represented by UUT. Okay, okay, so this is the radioactive element UUT, UN trium. Okay, so this is the radioactive element. Now if we talk about their existence, so aluminium is the third most abundant element after oxygen. So it is the it is the third most abundant element. Okay, third abundant element. And if we talk about boron, the existence of boron is in the form of either boric acid or in the form of borax. Okay, so boron exists in the form of boric acid, that is H3BO3 hydroboric acid, and the second is Na2B2 B4O7. Okay, dot 10 molecule of water. This is the formula for borax. Okay, this is the formula for borax. So borax is also a white powder. uh, so borax is actually founded in India, in Ladakh. Okay, or in Rajasthan also. So similarly, aluminium is present in the form of bauxite. Okay, bauxite and clay, bauxite and clay. So bauxite is the you can say it is the ore. Okay, it is the ore of aluminium. These two are the minerals of aluminium, but bauxite is the ore because uh, ore are those in through which uh, we can easily extract aluminium or the metal. Okay, out of these two, bauxite is the ore. Okay, these two are minerals, but ore वो होता है जिसमें से कन्वीनियंटली हम मेटल को निकाल सकते हैं. एंड bauxite is the ore. Why clay is not the ore? Because in clay there are some silicon impurities present. Okay, some silicon impurities also present, some silicon impurities also present, and the formula is Al2O3. Okay, bauxite's formula is Al2O3. Similarly for clay the formula is Al2O3 dot SiO2. Okay, these are the impurities which are present along with Al2O3. That is why it is not easy to extract aluminium from clay. Okay, in contrast in case of bauxite. Okay, rest of the elements, their existence, their abundance is very low, so there is no need to discuss about their existence. Okay, or in which state they are present. If we talk about their state, so all these are boron, aluminium. Okay, boron is a metalloid, as we all know it is a metalloid. Okay, so it is a metalloid. uh, it can act as both metal and non-metal, and it is also solid. Aluminium is also solid. Now one more thing is that gallium is liquid. Okay, gallium is present in liquid state, and the rest of the two or three elements are also in solid state. Okay, so keep in your mind that there are only 4 or 5 elements in the whole periodic table which are in liquid form. The first one is rubidium in group number 1, second one again in group number 1 cesium, third one again in group number 1, that is also radioactive, that is francium. Okay, these are the 3 elements which are in liquid form. Similarly, in group number 12, D block element, that is mercury, well known liquid, used in thermometer also. Mercury is also liquid, that is in group number 12, okay, D block element में. And then we have gallium in group number 13, okay, it is in group number 12. These are in group number 1. And there is also an element that is in liquid form in group number 17, that is bromine water, okay, bromine water, okay. It is used as a test for the for checking the presence of unsaturation, okay. It is of brown color, and when it react with any unsaturated compound, its color decolorizes, okay. So these are the 1 2 3 4 5, I think 6 elements are liquid. Rest of the others are maybe gases uh, or in solid state, okay. So this is all about their existence. Now let us discuss about their uh, electronic configuration as well as their physical properties. So the general electronic configuration is NS2 NP1, okay. General electronic configuration is NS2 NP1, okay. So where N is from 2 to 7, where N is from 2 to 7. Now there is a difference between the electronic configuration is that in case of boron, okay, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium, okay. So there is a difference in the electronic configuration. The outer electronic configuration is same, but there is a difference that after aluminium there is an entry of 10 d orbitals, okay. And then we have after 3d10 we have uh, 4s2 and 4p1, okay, sorry, 5p1. So there is a difference when we move from 3d10 to 4s2, and then we have wait a minute, 4p1, okay, 4p1. So in aluminium and boron there is no d block element present, okay. So this is a very important factor. And when we move from indium to thallium, so there is entry of f block also, okay. F block elements की entry हो जाती है 3d10, and then we have 4f14, okay. Then we have 6s2 and then 6p1, okay. So there is an entry of F block elements along with D block elements, okay. I think that, here we have 5D, okay, 5D10, 4F14, 6S2 and then 6P1. So this is the main difference between the electronic configuration, okay, that after aluminium there is an entry of 10 D block elements, and after indium there is also entry of 14 F block elements, and their shielding effect is very poor. So this is the main difference which we are going to discuss in the physical properties. Now the first physical property is atomic radius, okay. This is the first physical property, that is atomic radius. Atomic radius. So as we move from, one thing I want to clear is that there is no regular trend in any of the property in case of group number 13, okay. If we talk about atomic radius, electronegativity, electropositivity, ionization energy, melting and boiling point, there is no regular trend. Even in density also there is a exception, okay. So there is no regular trend, keep in your mind this thing. So atomic radius, if we talk about atomic radius or ionic radius, okay, or ionic radius, so when we move from boron to aluminium, okay, when we move from boron to aluminium and then gallium and then indium and then thallium, so there is a increase in the atomic radius, okay, and then there is an entry of 10 d block elements, 3d10, okay. And we all know that the d block has a very poor shielding effect, so due to this poor shielding effect, the nuclear charge, there is a sudden increase in the nuclear charge as we move from aluminium to gallium, okay. increase in the nuclear charge takes place. Nuclear charge. So as we move from aluminium to gallium, there is a sudden increase in nuclear charge, due to which the size of gallium becomes smaller than that of aluminium, and the order will become of atomic radius is, the order is boron, then gallium, then aluminium, then indium, and then thallium. Okay, so this is due to, and one more thing, there is a very less difference in the atomic radius of indium and thallium. That is again due to poor shielding effect of f orbital. Okay, that is due to poor shielding effect of f orbital, but the nuclear charge doesn't able to overpower the effect of the increase in the uh, shell number. Okay, that is why thallium की जो atomic radius है, that is greater than that of uh, indium. Okay, but in case of gallium and aluminium, uh, the shielding effect of nuclear charge overpowers the increase in the shell number. ठीक है, that is why gallium का जो size है वो aluminium से क्या है, छोटा है. Okay, this is the exact reason. Okay, so this is all about the atomic radius. Now if I okay, so this is the trend. Okay, if I want to draw it graphically, then it will be like this. This is atomic radius and this is atomic number. So boron से aluminium गए, then there is an increase, and then there is a decrease, and then it start increasing again. Okay, so it is like this: boron, and then we have aluminium, then gallium, then we have here we have indium. Okay, here we have indium, and then we have thallium over here. So this is a graphical representation. Now okay, so you can remember like this. So now the second is second property is very important, that is ionization energy. So ionization energy is the amount of energy required to eject electron from the gaseous atom. Okay, so ionization energy. Now if we talk about this property, that is ionization energy, so as we, there is also not regular trend, as I have already told you. So as we move from boron to aluminium, and then gallium, then indium, and then we have thallium. Okay, so it was founded that as we move top to bottom, okay, there is a decrease in ionic radius from boron to aluminium. Okay, but then again due to d orbital there is an increase. Okay, and then there is a decrease. Okay, there is a decrease, and then it again increases very drastically. Okay, now what is the reason? So the reason is here the effect of f orbital. Okay, f orbital have a very shielding effect, very high shielding effect, sorry, very poor shielding effect. That is why uh, it is not so easy to eject electron from thallium. Okay, as compared to indium, gallium, aluminium, and boron, even aluminium. Okay, so it is not easy to eject electron. Now one more thing, they all have less or low ionization energy than that in case of s block elements. ठीक है, if we talk about group number 1 and 2, okay, in group number 1 and 2 the electron has to be ejected from s orbital, which is more closer to that of nucleus. But in case of group number 13 elements, we have to eject electron from p orbital, which is easy. That in case of if we compare with group number 1 and 2, because group and 1 और 2 में से हमने s orbital में से electron निकालना है, as compared to group number 13 in which we have to eject electron from p orbital. Okay, so that is why their ionization energy is lower than that of group number 1 and 2. Now the reason is simple, that it is due to the poor shielding effect of f orbital, and here poor shielding effect of d orbital. Now the trend is the order is like this: boron, and then we have thallium, then gallium, then aluminium, and then indium. Okay, So this is the order of ionization energy. Okay, so I think arrow is okay, arrow is like this. Okay, so this is the decreasing order of ionization energy. Boron has the highest ionization energy, then thallium due to very poor shielding effect of f orbital as well as d orbital. Okay, and then gallium, and then aluminium, and then indium. Okay, so look how irregular it is. Okay, so if we draw it graphically again, so then boron highest one, and then uh, gallium, then we have aluminium, and then gallium का increase हुआ, and then we have indium, and then we have thallium. Okay, it is like W. So boron, aluminium, and then we have gallium. Okay, gallium का increase हुआ, then indium, and then again thallium. Okay, so you can remember it by W. Okay, तो W से आप याद रखें. Here we have ionization energy, here we have atomic number. Okay, so you can remember it with the help of a W. Okay, so graphically याद रखना थोड़ा easy है. Okay, next property is electronegativity. So electronegativity again is a very important property. So if we talk about electronegativity or electropositivity, there is also not a regular trend in electronegativity. So out of these all elements, boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium, okay, so the least electronegativity is for aluminium. Okay, least electronegativity is for aluminium, or it is the most electropositive element among all these elements. Okay, uh, and then we have indium. Okay, so the reason is that as we move from boron to aluminium, okay, there is an increase in size. That is why it is easy. That is why it is not easy to attract the shear pair of electrons. Okay, so boron के case में जो है, boron is actually a non-metal, so it has a very good tendency to attract electrons. Okay, so we can also explain this term, this concept of electronegativity or electropositivity with the help of a reduction potential. Okay, we can easily explain it with the help of reduction potential, because reduction potential depends upon all the factors like ionization energy, we have sublimation energy, तो उन सभी का combine effect है. तो reduction potential से हम पता कर सकते हैं. So those who have negative reduction potential have a very good tendency to lose electron. Okay, so if we talk about aluminium, so aluminium has a electronegativity, uh, has a electrode potential in negative. Okay, has a negative value. So similarly in case of gallium, indium also there is a negative value. Okay, and in case of boron it is positive, and in case of thallium it is also positive reduction potential. Okay, and the negative value decreases as we move from aluminium to indium. Okay, there is a decrease in the negative value, decrease negative value. Okay, decrease negative value, or you can say there is an increase in reduction potential. Okay, so there is an increase in reduction potential, and aluminium thallium के केस में reduction potential क्या हो जाता है, positive. Okay, so reduction potential means we are that these all are gaining 3 electrons. Okay, and gets converted into solid. So aluminium doesn't have any tendency to accept electrons. Okay, that is why it is not electronegativity. Okay, but if we talk about thallium and boron, they have a very good tendency to attract electrons. Okay, because their reduction potential is positive. So order will be, order क्या होगा electronegativity का, boron, then thallium, then we have indium, then gallium, and the least is for aluminium. Okay, now this order is also very irregular. Okay, this order is also very irregular. So this is all about the electronegativity. Now next is, you can also draw it graphically by your own. Okay, so draw this in your notebook graphically also, the order. Now next property is melting and boiling point. Okay, so here we have discussed both electropositive character and negative electronegative character combined. Okay, that depends upon the ionization energy as well as reduction potential value. Okay, so we are taking we have taken reduction potential as the main reason for their electronegativity as well as electropositivity. Okay, so uh, actually reduction potential जो है, that is a I think uh, easily explain this concept of electronegativity as well as electropositivity. रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल से अगर हम देखें तो easily हम explain कर सकते हैं this concept को as compared to ionization energy, because ionization energy is also irregular. Okay, we cannot explain it in terms of ionization energy because the order of ionization energy is different and the order of electronegativity or electropositivity is different. Okay, तो ये थोड़ा ये है कि complex हो जाता है if we explain it in terms of ionization energy. That is why we have taken reduction potential, because reduction potential easily explain which is more uh, good reducing agent, which is less reducing agent. Okay, so next property is, that is fourth one, melting and boiling point. Melting and boiling point. Now if we talk about melting point and boiling point, that depends upon the crystal structure. Okay, that depends upon the crystal structure. Now there is a exception in melting point again in case of gallium. As we all know, gallium is a liquid. Okay, so as we know, gallium is a liquid, so the melting point of gallium is very low. Okay, now what is the reason behind this? So the reason is its structure. Okay, it consists of a large number of diatomic structure like this. So in all crystal lattice, the structure of gallium is like this. Okay, gallium is diatomic, like gases, like we have H2. Okay, like we have Br2. So Br2 also exists as bromine liquid, also exists as Br2. Okay, diatomic nature. Okay, so that is why it exists as like this, diatomic. But if we talk about boron, it exists in a structure known as icosahedral structure, and its coordination number is 12. Okay, 12 means it is surrounded by 12 different 12 other boron atoms. Okay, so it is not easy to draw the structure on board. Okay, because it is whole 3D as well as quite complex. Okay, so icosahedral structure, that is why this structure is very compact, or it is quite closed structure. That is why its melting point is high as compared to others. Okay, so the melting point of gallium is very low. That is why it is a liquid. Okay, that is why it is a liquid. So now one more thing is gallium. If we talk about gallium, so gallium का जो boiling point है, that is very high. Okay, the boiling point of gallium is near about 2700 Kelvin. Okay, so approx it is near about 2685 Kelvin, but we can also take it as 2700 Kelvin. So that is why it is used in high temperature thermometer in place of mercury, high temperature thermometer. Okay, so gallium is used where we have to measure. Okay, where we want to measure high temperatures. Okay, where we have to measure high temperature near about 2500 Kelvin. Okay, so उन apparatuses में use होता है because there are some organic reactions which takes place at even very high temperature. Okay, and we have to stable, we have to keep that temperature stable, so we use thermometers. Okay, so that we can give heat if the temperature is low. Okay, so we have to maintain that temperature. That is why we have to use such type of thermometers, okay, to check whether the temperature is regular or not. Okay, so this is all about the melting and boiling point. So if we talk about from boron to aluminium, the melting point decreases and then it start again sorry, from boron to aluminium, it increases and then it start decreasing from aluminium to thallium. So this is the order of melting point. Now one more property is, that is density. So if we talk about density, so density increases as we move from top to bottom. Okay, and one more thing, there is a regular order in boiling point. Okay, the order of boiling point is regular, the order of melting point is irregular, but the order for boiling point is regular. It decreases as we move from top to bottom. Okay, so this is the order. Now one more thing is that density. Okay, so density increases as we move from top to bottom because the increase in atomic mass is more as compared to the uh, as compared to the volume. Okay, so there is also gallium, indium, and then thallium. So density increases as we move from top to bottom, but in case of boron and aluminium, the density is very low as compared to the other elements. Okay, so when we compare these all elements, okay, they have a high density as compared to other. So this gallium is in liquid form, but when we convert it into solid form, okay, by decreasing temperature or by increasing pressure, then the density of the gallium which is in solid is less than that of gallium liquid. Okay, that is why it can easily float. So the density of gallium solid is less than that of gallium liquid. Okay, so this is the last property, that is density. So there are five major properties and there is no regular trend in these all properties. Okay, so you have to keep in your mind the order, okay, as well as the reason why this is the order. Okay, so this is all about the physical properties, and in the next class we will discuss about the chemical properties of group 13 elements, which are also very important, like we have oxidation number and their reactivity towards water, air, as well as towards other uh, species. Okay, so we can easily discuss these all properties. Firstly, you have to keep in your mind these physical properties. So I hope you found this lecture helpful, and thank you so much for watching the lecture.